All right, well, good morning. Thanks for coming out this morning to hear me speak. My name is Emily, and I had the opportunity to serve as the water education intern at the Athens-Clarke County Water Conservation Office. So the Water Conservation Office is centrally located in downtown Athens. If you've passed by the City Hall, then chances are you've also passed by the Water Conservation Office. So at the WCO, our glass is always half full. We aim to educate citizens about water conservation and how to incorporate water conservation decisions into our everyday lives. Not only do we provide the strategies for water conservation habits, but also the devices to help members of the community maintain their wise water use practices. So such devices can include low flow shower heads or the toilet tabs that we give out to help people identify if they have leaks in their home. So if you have any of those problems, you can stop by the WCO to find a solution or receive a suggestion from the WCO. So in order for us to communicate about water conservation to the community, we host a variety of outreach and education programs. This past weekend, we actually did the Athens Water Festival, and that is a carnival-style community family event. So we had lots of children and their families come out. We had a Warnell group actually join us, so we thank them for bringing a few critters out to share with folks that not only do humans require water for their livelihood, but also many other organisms, all other organisms. The Water Conservation Office does a lot of school visits to teach kids about water in a fun manner, an exciting and interactive manner. We also do summer camp presentations. We visited Sandy Creek a couple times with their large groups of 90 children. We also do a big variety of adult workshops, and those range from Fix a Week Leak, where we help people identify how to find leaks and how to fix those leaks, water efficient lawn care. We also partner with the Stormwater Division and help people construct rain barrels to prevent erosion caused by stormwater runoff. And then we also provide some training such as the Project WET training. So if any students are interested in that, keep an eye out for a future opportunity. Lastly, we do some guided tours of the water treatment facilities. So our drinking water in Athens comes from three sources. We get our water from the Middle Oconee River, North Oconee River, and Bear Creek. Bear Creek Reservoir. So all of that water gets directed to J.G. Beecham Water Treatment Plant, and here's a picture below of that treatment plant. We tried to do some fun and engaging tours of the treatment plant. So around the holidays, around Valentine's Day, you can join us for 50 Shades of Brown, or in October, you can join us for Trick or Treatment. So we have 3 water reclamation facilities servicing the Athens-Clarke County area. About 75% of our population is serviced by these 3 facilities. I actually did not even know how close these facilities were to us before I started interning at the office. I literally live 2 minutes away from the Middle Oconee College Station location, and that is also the facility that services UGA campus. So if you flush a toilet on campus, that water is going to be directed to the Middle Oconee facility. It will be treated, then released into a river, and later drawn back up to be treated as drinking water. So the rest of the fourth of the population has some sort of private system, septic tank, to deal with their water reclamation needs. My responsibilities throughout my internship, that button's touchy. Let's get back. All right, my responsibilities throughout the internship included leading programs, educational programs to school groups, also providing animal care for Philippe, our green tree frog at the office. I also designed activities focused on frog conservation and water conservation and how those two are very relative to each other. To add to our water drop box collection, the water drop boxes are an educational tool that we will drop off at a school and pick them up after it's done, and those complement educational goals throughout the school system. I also assisted with some of the tours for the treatment plants, the water treatment plants, and another big thing that I did was engage the community in thinking about and talking about water issues in the area, local, and also national problems. And I did this widely through social media. And we have a really wide social media presence. You can find us on the big ones, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And we also publish a water-themed blog about every week. And I had the chance to write a few of these, my favorite one being Take the Potty Pledge. And in that article, I outlined the 4 P's, the flushable P's. Those are being the only things that should ever go down to the toilet. And those things always get people giggling. The 4 P's are poop, pee, puke, and toilet paper. So always remember, nothing else goes down the toilet. When I am not adding activities to the water drop boxes or on social media, I'm out doing an educational program. Some of the discussion points I like to brief over are water-wise habits, whether that's brushing your teeth with faucet off or taking shorter showers. Of course, I mentioned the 4 P's to children and adults, frog conservation, also preach the water cycle, and fog clogs, being fats, oils, and grease that cause issues down the pipes when they harden. So throughout my experience at the Water Conservation Office, I've reached a variety of people, spoke to friends, families, adults, and children in my educational outreach endeavors. I was able to communicate with people who wouldn't usually be in contact with the Water Conservation Office through social media. So that was great to be basically in people's hands and giving them the information that they need to be better water conservationists. And as I mentioned briefly, I produced learning extensions for the water drop boxes. This is a list of some of the programs and events that I attended. The Cub Scouts Twilight Camp is the first group that I presented to individually. I did this solo. I had a friend of mine come as Lily Amphibian, our mascot of the office. And in this photo, everybody is doing their best impression of a frog call. So they have all got their mouths open. That was a really fun opportunity. So throughout my internship, I was provided with a lot of Warnell wisdom going in. Some of the beneficial concepts that I've outlined are the Natural Resources Professional Development course guided by Emily Saunders that helped me brush on my resume writing and my interviewing skills, and I do attribute that course to getting this internship. Also, Dr. Castleberry's Vertebrate Natural History course. I learned a lot about frog identification and natural history, which I was able to share in some of my education programs. And then, as someone mentioned before, professional writing is very important in the work field, and we did a lot of that in field methods and many other courses as well. Some of the concepts that I wish I had a little bit more experience in before going into the water conservation was indeed environmental interpretation. We brushed on that very little in wildlife classes, more of the NERT. I wish I got to have some more NERT background. And then water resource basics. A little bit more of that would have been great. So overall, Warnell has provided me with a great platform to succeed in the professional realm. So I am proud to be a Warnell dog. If there aren't any more questions, for me, I'd like to thank you for coming to listen about the Water Conservation Office of Athens-Clarke County.